Hi, so my name is Edith. I am with Jubeli Solar here in Ghana, in Accra, in charge of all of West Africa. I'm certified. I have multiple certifications with Huawei. That is why I'm allowed to handle this webinar today. So today we are going to be looking at Huawei residential solutions. And it's so nice to meet all of you. I see you all coming from different places in the chat. Please enabled Q&A. It's this question mark button in the comment section. So if you have any questions, please type it there so that at the end of the presentation, I will answer each one of them. Thank you. So, of course, some of you know who we are. We are Jubeli Bros, but some of you don't. So for those who do not, Jubeli Bros is a power solutions company. We've been in the industry for more than 40 years. So to celebrate our 40th anniversary, we started the solar division. And can you see my pointer? Yes, I think you can. So we started the solar division in 2017, and it's been growing ever since. In Ghana, we started about 3 years ago. And you would see the progression over the years. This map tells you that anywhere that you see a flag is where our partners or branch or customers are. What this means is that regardless of where you are in the world, we can reach you. We can reach you and we can help you and assist you in bringing you a power solution that we can provide. So that's basically it. We bring you power solutions and we make it a point to assist you. Our primary customers are EPCs, and in assisting our EPC customers, we have 6 things that we practice. So these 6 things are product supply, training, engineering support, leads, referral to finance, and after-sales support. What these things mean is, for product supply, we are an equipment distribution company. So we bring you these products straight from our warehouses. We buy them, we make sure that they're delivered quickly and efficiently. We always want to make sure that we are bringing you less headache. We also do trainings like today, and every Thursday there's a webinar going on. Not all of them are about our products, some of them about services or just solar in general. But we do this regularly to make sure that we are assisting you with as much technical support as we can and making sure that you're equipped as our customer. We also provide engineering support. We could look at your designs. If you're designing for a project and you need a third person to help you with it, so another eye to look at your design, to help you point out if you're missing something, that's us. So we do that as well. We also provide leads. As I mentioned earlier, we've been in the business for over 40 years. What this means is that we have a wide network. I showed you the map. You can see it for yourself. So over the years, in the course of business, we will have the privilege of knowing about certain projects, and we would refer these projects to our APC customers. We also do referral to finance. We have strong relationships with financing bodies. So we also would refer, if you have a project and the thing that's stopping the project from coming to life is financial constraints, we can introduce you to one of our financial partners and they would take up the finance aspect of the project. After all of this, we don't just leave you high and dry. We provide after sales support so that if you have any problem, just know that you're not alone. We're here with you. We will assist you during commissioning, during installation, and even after in your maintenance works. We are always there. And we also provide warranty as well in a timely manner because we keep stock. So if you have any warranty case, We don't wait for the Huawei replacements. We replace from our stock here in Ghana. So this is a complete range. So we have Jinko panels. Currently in Ghana, we do not have the Lumax mounts, unfortunately. It's in due time. We have the Huawei equipment. We also have generators, diesel generators with Perkins engines. And then we have the hybrid controllers to combine both the solar and the generator solutions together on a site. Jibeli Bros is partners with Huawei. We are a certified solutions provider as well as a value-added partner for Huawei. So not only do we provide the equipment, but we add value to it, like these trainings that we are doing and all the other things I mentioned before with the leads and the finance and the webinars and the engineering support, all of that. So it's a holistic package. So today, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be looking at the Huawei Fusion Solar residential smart PV solutions. Huawei. I don't think anybody can say they do not know who Huawei is, especially in this part of the world. We know Huawei for their phones and the laptops and what have you. But something that some people do not know is Huawei invests heavily in research and development. It is something that they're doing to constantly create value for their customers. So if you look on my screen, you will see that 53.4% of Huawei employees are in research and development. This means that they're investing so much so that they are taking over the market. Before Huawei showed up on the screen, on the market scene, there were central inverters. They were the mainstream type of inverters for, especially for utility scale. Then Huawei showed up. When they did, little by little over the years, while string inverter solutions are taking over the inverter market. And even in the string inverter market, Huawei has 50.6%, and the others are fighting for the rest. Huawei is number one global inverter shipment. They are the best on the market and they are the driving force in the market. So if you make a decision to choose Huawei for your designs, you know that you're in good hands. So this is the full range of solutions provided by the Huawei Fusion Solar. There's residential. We have 3 to 6 kilowatts for single phase, and 2 to 6 for single phase, and 3 to 10 for three-phase residential solutions, which are compatible with batteries and their grid type. And we'll be looking at that extensively today. Then there are also commercial and industrial solutions. There's 12 to 20, 30 to 60, 50, 60, and 100. They are all inverters, they are all string inverters. It's just different ranges because they are similar in certain characteristics. And then we have utility scale as well. We have the 185 kilowatt inverter and then the 200 or 215 kilowatt inverter. All of these are managed on the Fusion Solar Management Platform, which I will be explaining to you later today. So this is the residential range right here. The batteries, the inverters, the optimizers, and then the monitoring platform. This one manufacturer end-to-end solution means that if you have a problem and you come to Huawei, you don't have to go to different manufacturers for different solutions. You come to one person and you have everything that you need. And thankfully, with Jubilee Bros, we also have the panels as well. In our Ghana warehouse right now, we have 450 and 470 watts Jinko panels. So you're getting the panels, you're getting the inverter, you're getting the batteries, everything that you need. Equipment wise, it's already sorted by the time you're done. So this is basically a single line diagram showing the connection in a residential solution. So this system is without optimizers. So it's just the PV panels, then to the inverter, then from the grid, you're going through the smart power sensor with RS485 connections to your load. There's a battery. Then we also have the optimizer. So there's with optimizer or without optimizers. All of these I'll explain shortly. Do not worry. So the residential inverters and accessories, I'll be taking you through that right now so that you have a fair idea on what is in the range, if it is residential, what to expect from it, and things like that. So the Huawei inverters were the design was taken from snowbirds around the lake. Unfortunately, in this part of our world, we don't really see a lot of snow, unfortunately. But that was where the inspiration came from. So it has a certain cooling effect. It's calm, it's serene, and it is safe. So with the residential inverters, we have the single phase and the three phase. Generally, for Huawei, if you see Sun 2000, it means it's an inverter. That's what the inverter module is called. The module type is called Sun 2000. Then if you see an L1 at the end, or an L, the L means it's single phase, and the M means it's three phase. So for the single phase, currently in stock in Ghana, we have 2, 3, 5, and 6 kilowatts inverters, single phase currently in stock. We do not like to store the in-betweens because it doesn't make sense, and we want to make sure that we are not keeping anything in stock that's not going to be used. So these are the ones we usually stock with 2, 3, 5, and 6 kilowatts inverters, single phase. They have 2 MPPTs and 2 inputs. So that's 1:1 for the residential range. Then there's local commissioning built-in Wi-Fi. There's arc fault circuit interruption, and is compatible with the optimizer I mentioned earlier. The MPPTs is maximum power point tracking. This allows you to use the inverter more efficiently. It allows you to track the maximum power points in the panels so that you can get the most out of your PV solution. Then we have the three phase. So the M here says it's three phase. Currently in stock in Ghana, we have 3, 5, and 10 kilowatts three phase inverters in Ghana. They also have 2 MPPTs and 2 inputs. There's local commissioning built-in Wi-Fi. There's arc fault circuit interruption. There's potential induced degradation recovery, and it's compatible with the optimizer as well. So these are the range that we have. These are what we have. These are the basic specs. Of course, anytime that you need data sheets, you can either Google them or you can reach out to us and we will assist you by giving you the data sheets for each of them in case you want to go into the details of it. For the residential inverters and generally for Huawei inverters as a solution, they are no fuse or other quick wear parts, and the inverter is touch-free. This allows the inverter to last much longer than the average inverters on the market. There's no fuse. If you look at the design on the previous page, where's the previous page? You see there's no button, there's nothing. All of these are just ports. There's nothing on the inverter. There's no LCD screen. Your phone is the LCD screen. So this takes away all the parts of your inverter that would have otherwise made it not last long. Currently, the Huawei inverter, this range, has 10 years standard warranty, and it can be extended up to 20 years. So these things that are not on it make it so that it can last much longer than other brands on the market. Then there is the heatsink at the back of the inverter. This allows natural cooling and it is verified by the telecom and solar application. As I mentioned earlier, Huawei is very well known for their phones and laptops and whatnot. So they've taken all the things that make their laptops and their phone very good quality, and they've applied these advantages into the solar solutions, giving them the added advantage over the other inverters on the market. The annual failure rates for Huawei inverters are 0.5%. That means one in every 1,000 or so inverters would have an issue. The inverter availability is up to 99.996%, which is very good odds if you ask me. So it's highly efficient, and the natural cooling effect allows it to stay in any form of environment and it will still thrive. So it's highly efficient and it has low failure rates because of all these things that are not on it. And it has natural cooling, it is fanless. So it's lighter, it's a lighter module because of all these things that are not part of it. And it is highly efficient. So as I was saying, it's very lightweight. If you look at this, this is comparing the 3 to 10 KTL or kilowatt inverters to other brands on the market. You see 37, you see 21.6, you see 20, and then the Huawei inverter is at a whopping 17 kilograms. So one person can carry it. I can carry it. I've tried it and it works. If you don't believe me, you can always swing by and I will let you carry one of them to test it. But it makes it so that during installation, you don't need so many people in order to make it work. So the other things involved, apart from the inverter, is the smart dongle. We have the 4G dongle, which uses a SIM card, or the Wi-Fi dongle, which uses Wi-Fi available on site. It can connect up to 10 devices. So that means if you have 10 inverters all working together, you just need one dongle and then you're done, as opposed to having different ones on the same site. It's a simple plug and play. You just stick it in the port and then you lock it. It's very simple. There's also the smart power center and the range for net zero exports. In these parts of the world, especially in Western Ghana, we have no export to the grid. We have a net metering law, or we do not have it. So we are not allowed to export anything from the solar system to the grid. Installing the smart power sensor allows you to do that very easily. You can require your solar system to produce only as much as the load requires so that there is no excess power that will be sent to the grid. So it's a bi-directional meter that takes information regarding production and consumption and allows you to monitor as well. And all of this is done through the app. It's one app for commissioning and monitoring. It's called the Fusion Solar app. It is not available on Google Play, but it is available on the Huawei Solar site. So if you just Google it, it will direct you to install the app on your phone. Of course, we are always available. We provide after sales support, so do not worry if you don't know anything. You can just call us and we will talk you through it. So the commissioning is fast and easy. You step by step. You see the page, it requires you to put in information, you put in the information, you send it in, it detects the devices. You do not have to commission all the devices on your site. You just do the one inverter and then it detects everyone else. It detects all the accessories attached to it as well. And then once it's done detecting everything, you see it, you accept it, then you're onto the management system and you're done. If you want to add new plans or new devices, it's very simple, it's step by step. You can't get it wrong. So it's fast, it's easy, it's efficient, it's convenient, and you do not need so many people on the site. Just a few number of people, and you'll be done with your installation and commissioning easily. So now we're going to be looking at PV optimizers. Especially for residential solutions, we are doing a lot of roof type projects. There are different types of roofs. You can have shading, you can have different styles. The optimizers allow you to make the most out of them. So these optimizers, they work with almost all poly and mono PV modules in the market, so you don't have to get different types. The maximum power is 450 watts, so it works with the average panels on the market, especially for residential solutions. And we have 450 watts panels in stock in case you're looking. They're also highly efficient. They have 99.5% efficiency. And there's rapid voltage shutdown, which is my personal favorite. It means as soon as you turn off the inverter, it shuts down on a modular level up there on the roof. So if you want to do maintenance work during the day and you turn off your inverter, if you have optimizers installed, your modules will go to 0 volts immediately, allowing your technicians, if they're going to wash the panels or whatever, they're able to do that easily and safely. So with optimizers, you can get up to 30% because normally when there are no optimizers in your system, if there is shading on one panel, it affects the entire string of panels because the panels are connected in series and any link is as strong as your weakest link. So when there is shading, it automatically affects your entire string. But if you have optimizers, whatever is affecting one string affects only that string and not the others. So if you have 85% here, even the panel directly beside it would have 100% production, which allows you to be more efficient and get more out of your system, basically. There are more modules if you're using optimizers as opposed to without optimizers. With optimizers, you can do up to 25 modules in a string. It's very flexible. You don't have to let all of them face one direction. If you're very confident with PV installations, you know that generally your string, if you have something in a string, everything faces that direction. But if you have optimizers, all of these can be on the same string. It saves you headache and it's very efficient at the same time. So as I was saying earlier, this is without optimizers. The conventional roof, we are putting the ones in similar directions on the same string. We are not using these parts because of shading or because it's a different style of roof. And then this is with optimizers, where we can actually we can actually use the most of our roof. Before, you'd have had to avoid these sections. And now that you added these sections, you're getting more from your roof space. You can maximize it. So if you look at this here, because of the shading, it would not have been ideal. But now because there are optimizers, you can actually install it there, knowing that even with shading, you still get some amount of power from your PV. Another advantage of the PV optimizer is the fact that it can find your faults. So arc fault positioning for easier troubleshooting. Normally, you can't really pinpoint exactly where there is an arc fault. You can tell maybe it's on a certain string, but you can't tell exactly which module on that string it is. Especially for maintenance, this is very important. It reduces the time that it will take for you to do your checks because it will scan the whole thing and then it will just tell you, okay, this is where your problem is. Just go to this panel on the string and that's that. Because during commissioning, you would have taken a picture of all of this. You'd have done your layout in your app just like this. So you would know which one is which and then go to that specific panel. It saves you time. And we all know time is money. So you're saving money as well. So as I was mentioning earlier, 0 volts modular shutdown. As soon as you turn off the panel, if you have optimizers, as soon as you turn off the inverter, everything shuts down. It goes to 0 volts. Nothing is being produced. You can work with your system. You can touch it, you can clean it, and you are rest assured that it's safe. As opposed to without optimizers, where even if you turn off the inverter, there will still be production at your panels. So it's smaller, it's palm fit, it fits easily behind the panel. So it's connected at the back of the panel, and you connect the panel cables with the MC4s directly to the PV optimizer, and then you connect optimizer to optimizer. So it's very simple, it's very easy to install, and it's easy to carry as well. And we do have them in stock for anyone who's interested. We do have them in stock in Ghana as well. Another thing in the residential range is the lunar batteries. The lunar batteries, like the inverters, also have an inspiration for their design. They were taken from waterfalls. In Ghana, we are blessed with so many waterfalls. So this one we can relate to. It's serene, it's sleek, it's nice, and it makes you feel a certain type of way. It's just nice. It fits with the aesthetic of your room. You do not have to bother hiding it or finding a shelf for it. It has ground mounts and wall mounts. So it's very easy, it's very nice. You can demonstrate to your friends that this is your battery and they will not believe it. The batteries have a flexible design in that you can have from 5 kilowatt hours all the way to 30 kilowatt hours, and it's scalable. The maximum you can have is 30 kilowatt hours, which is 2 racks. So each rack, this is 5, this is 5, this is 5, with the power module together is 15 kilowatt hours. You can have just this. Later on, if you want another one, you can add one more. Then you can add another one. It's very simple. So one battery module fits for both single phase and 3-phase inverters. You don't need to change anything about it. The power module makes it so that it's already managing the battery system. And you can use it in grid-tied and off-grid, or pure off-grid. So the battery is simple. It works with the inverter. The residential inverters can work in grid-tied. They can work in grid-tied off-grid or pure off-grid, depending. And as I stated earlier, there's a floor stand and there's a wall mount option. So the floor stand actually comes with it, comes in the box of the power module. And then during installation, you just drill it to the ground and to the wall, and then it's done. And then the wall mount allows it to actually hang on the walls. So the batteries are unique in the sense that they allow for module level optimization. So each battery module is feeding your system individually. If there's an issue with one battery module, it does not affect the rest. If you have an issue here, this one would still be fine. If you're dispersing the energy to your load and this is reducing, it doesn't necessarily affect these two. What this means is that if you started with maybe 5 kilowatt hours of battery storage and you later on decided that no, you know what, I want another one, and you got another five, you can easily add it to this, and it will in no way reduce the efficiency of your battery system because it is module level optimized. It also is, it has 100% depth of discharge, so you can use as much energy as you pay for. It's easy to install so that you're not wasting too much money on and time on your installation. And you have the parallel option. So this graph here shows you just how you can easily parallel these things. You can get one battery module, 5 kilowatt hours with one inverter. You can get it with, you can get the same one inverter, two battery modules, that's 10 kilowatt hours, or three, that's 15 kilowatt hours. You can also get two 10s, one inverter, a 15 and a 10, one inverter, two 15s, one inverter. So you can do whichever one works the most for you. You can start here and end up here with the same inverter. You don't have to change anything. So it's very simple. It has natural cooling. It's the aesthetics are wonderful, and it's very efficient. So you have more usable energy with this battery. It's free of pre-charge, so you just install it in your system, you charge it, and you're using it. It's against energy mismatch, as I was saying earlier on. So if you bought a new battery to work with the old one, you will still get the best from your system. And you can actually use up to 100% of the battery storage. So it has 100% DOD. So now that we've gone through the equipment, now we're going to look at this Fusion Solar app, which is where you commission and monitor your system. You can access it via your phone on the app or via a web browser using the website. It allows for remote monitoring and troubleshooting. This is what it looks like. This is your dashboard on your desktop, and this is it on your phone. So regardless of where you are, especially if you're an installer, you have so many sites, it's nice to have all of them available on the go. If somebody called you and said, hey, I'm seeing something on my system, you can easily log into it, see what's going on, and assist them from wherever you are. You don't need to take a car every time your client calls you to their place. You don't have to go all the way there and find out that it was something that if you had seen it, you would have been able to handle without showing up there. Especially if you have different projects, different sites that are very scattered across. You can easily handle all of them from your phone. So now we're going to go through some applications of the residential solution. So this is the residential single phase inverter without optimizer. This is usually what a lot of people go for. There's no optimizer on your roof. You have just a string. It's going to your inverter via your DC cable. And then it is being connected via an RS-485 cable to your smart power sensor. Your smart power sensor is connected to your grid, and there are CTs on your grid lines to help you monitor what is coming from each line. And all of this is being managed on the Fusion Solar Management System. So it's either the web UI or the app. And then it's very simple. There's a 4G dongle or a Wi-Fi dongle for communication, because that is what will send the signals to your app or your web UI. So it's very simple. It's a very simple system. You don't need a lot of accessories. Just need an inverter, dongle, power sensor. That's it. This is the most basic of all the systems. So this is a single phase system. It's very simple. We will walk you through it. We provide training if you need anything. So do not worry about it at all. This is also single phase, but with batteries. So here, there are also optimizers. So the optimizers, as I was saying earlier, because you're connecting the PV to the optimizers, the final one that is coming to your inverter is from the optimizer. So you have optimizers to your inverter. Your inverter is connected to the battery storage. Then there's the backup box. The backup box has three main inputs. There's the one from the inverter, then from the grid, then from your backup load. So what the backup box does is, everybody has a load in their house because we are looking at residential systems. But when the battery kicks in, maybe your grid is down and you want to feed your system. You don't want to feed everything in your system. There are things that you consider critical to you that you always should have electricity to power these things. That we call the critical load. So that is what is connected to your backup box. Lots of people would have maybe their lights, their fridge, their TV, something. It's not a lot of things, but it's what they deem important to them. That is what's connected to your backup box. Then you have the grid, because the backup box will see the grid and it will say, oh, the grid is down. Let me switch to battery mode. Oh, the grid is back on. Okay, let's switch back to grid tied mode. So the same inverter is doing both off grid and grid tied with the help of the backup box, and then to the inverter. So all of this is connected in here. Then there's the smart power sensor, which is doing the monitoring and is helping you to control the outputs and your export. And then you have a dongle here for communication to your management system. So it's either the app or the Fusion Solar website. And because of the built-in Wi-Fi, you can commission locally, even without the dongle. You can commission locally and it will work just fine. You do need the dongle, however, if you want to keep monitoring after you've commissioned the system and it's working. Another example here is how the PV operates in off-grid mode. So you have the inverter, the panels with the optimizers, and the batteries. In this case, you do not necessarily need the backup box or the smart power sensor because there's no grid. You're not exporting anything to the grid. You're not seeing if the grid is off to switch to off-grid mode. You're constantly in off-grid mode. So you just have this and it will charge and discharge accordingly. It's a very simple system and it only works with the single phase. It does not work with the three phase. So only the single phase inverter range operates in off-grid mode. Please take note of that. So this is also multiple inverters connected to three-phase grid. Here, the connection between them is the RS485. Between each inverter is the RS485. They're all connected to a backup box, the backup box, the critical load. For inverters connected in such a way, one inverter is the master inverter, and all of them are connected to it in series. So this is connected to this is connected to this, and this, which is the master, is connected to the power sensor, and it's connected to the dongle. And as I mentioned earlier, you can connect multiple inverters to the dongle. The maximum you can connect in this range, if you have energy storage, is 3 inverters. So if you have batteries, the maximum you can connect is 3 inverters to each dongle. 3 inverters. So quick recap, one fits all. You have the one optimizer for everything, for the panels, either mono or poly. You have one inverter, grid tied or off grid. You have one service window, that's the Huawei brand, that is giving you battery, inverter, optimizer, everything. You have one app for commissioning and for monitoring, and you have one battery for single phase and three phase. So basically, the Huawei system is so that you can have one solution for everything. We do not want you to waste time, effort, and we want to make sure that you have peace of mind. So it makes easier selection, easier management, easier commissioning, support, compatibility, operating, the service, everything is easier because we are here with you. If you have any questions, if you have any problems, we are always here to assist you. And that's a Jubilee Bros thing. We believe in making sure that our clients are always comfortable, and we try to take as much of the headache of in the power solution process as possible. So we make sure we are bringing you good products and we're giving you good services. So with the AI Boost, which is the programming in the residential solutions, you have optimal electricity cost and active safety. So you have safety, you have up to 30% more energy by the optimizers. You have your battery solutions with optimizers having more usable energy. You have twice the battery power. That means you can do 2 times more. You have the AI powered active arcing protection so that as soon as there is a problem, there's an arcing fault, your system will detect it almost immediately and it will respond. There is 0 volts module level shutdown with optimizers, and it allows it to be touch safe. There is pinpoint arc fault positioning, which means that your system can, with optimizers, you can easily pinpoint where your arcing is and fix it. One fits all solution, which I just mentioned. Everything you need, we are the one-stop shop. There's 5 seconds module auto mapping. So once you upload your system onto the Fusion Solar Management System, you put in the optimizer design. In less than 5 seconds, it will map out your modules and you can easily monitor from there. There's also natural cooling and your inverter is touch-free, so it lasts longer. So these are major things. It's launched already in Kenya and it's launched here as well. We have some in stock. We have quite a sizable stock. So please reach out. We also do warranty. There's 10-year standard warranty on all of these things I've mentioned today. The residential range has 10-year standard warranty and it's extendable up to 20 years. If you install a system and there is a problem, these are the steps. Please do not uninstall the system. First, you identify that there's a problem. And you call me or anybody in the Jubilee team. You call or you send an email. You tell us what the issue is. You can even attach videos so that we can understand what's going on. You can even include the inverter log if you are very certain of what everything is. We will assist you to identify the problem. That is, if you don't know what the problem is. We will assist you. If the problem is something that it's not solvable, it's not something we can easily troubleshoot, and we think it's a warranty thing, we reach out to Huawei. We tell them that, hey, we have a problem with your system. It looks like it's warranty. They will diagnose it. They will determine if it's a warranty issue. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's something they can do from their end. If it is indeed a warranty issue and they tell us, yes, this is warranty, we replace the inverter. As long as Huawei has said it's warranty, we don't even have to wait for their replacement. We will replace it for you. And then after, we will deal with that on the Huawei side on our end. There's an added value that we provide to you at no additional cost. So that is it. If you have any questions, please, as I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, you can put them in the chat box and I will do well to assist. We will also send out the presentation slides at the end so that you can go through this at your convenience. If after that you still have any questions, you can send it to me in my mail. I will put my mail in the chat box as well so that you can access it. Give me 1 second. Yes. So you can access me here, edith.asante@jubileebros.com. I'm also on LinkedIn. This is my name on LinkedIn. So you can just hit me up on LinkedIn as well. Yes. Yes. So wherever you are, we will assist you. So now I'll go through the questions and I will just see how best to answer them. Sorry. Can you see the questions? Great. So do you have single phase for 10 kilowatts? Yes, Andrews, I have. No, I do not have single phase. I have 3-phase 10 kilowatts. The maximum I have for single phase is 6 kilowatts, and I do have some in stock at the moment. Think a scenario, we have 2 backup boxes. One backup box is going to use 2 wires for critical load. So we have 2 is going to use 4 wires. Yes, so you can do the backup box to backup box, but let me understand this. You have 2 backup boxes and 2 inverters, right? Because you can't have 2 backup boxes for 1 inverter. You can only have 1 backup box per inverter. And then you can connect the neutrals like that in series and then connect it to the final neutral. I don't know if that's what you're saying, but if not, you can shoot me a mail as well, and then we can discuss this. Maybe schedule a call, and then we can do this design. Huawei will release 10 kilowatt single phase in 2023. Okay, so that's my colleague Nellis, and he says Huawei will release the 10 kilowatt single phase next year, so you can keep an eye out for it. Are you going to open to adding additional inverter suppliers? As Jubilee Bros, we are always looking to bring the best to our customers. So, of course, if there are better solutions, I'm sure on a global scale, it's something we would be open for because we are always looking for the best for our customers. So, yeah. I think those are all the questions. Oh, sorry, I've missed some. Do this imply that all Huawei inverters are grid tied? Yes, they are grid tied, but they can also work in off grid or both. So, yes. Can the optimizer be connected to a string as opposed to module? Currently, for the optimizers, you can do complete optimizer or partial optimizer installation for your string, but you cannot connect the optimizer to one string. You connect on the modules, but you can connect to some of them, especially if you think you have problematic modules in your string. So when you feel there will be shading or there will be something blocking it, you can put the optimizer on that specific panel or number of panels. Is it realistic for CNI? Currently, unfortunately, if it's low CNI, you want to parallel maybe a couple of tens. That's great. Like here in our showroom, we have a 40 kilowatt system. 10 kilowatts of it is a residential 10 kilowatt inverter with battery storage. And on that 10 kilowatt inverter, half one of the strings is 2 strings, and one other string is having optimizers and the other is not. We consider this 40 kilowatts solution as CNI, but it's sort of a mix and match. So it depends on the solution. Again, you can reach out and we can look at what you have, and then I can assist you in your design. Okay, so I mentioned this earlier in the presentation. It's 100% DoD for the lunar battery. The software is the Fusion Solar, Huawei Fusion Solar. So if you are looking for the app or the web UI, you can just put it in Google and it will come up. The battery is, yes, it's available in the UAE. I'm currently in Ghana, but I know that's available in the UAE as well. You can reach out to our Dubai team. You can, you can reach out to our Dubai team. Oh, give me a second. What's the minimum efficiency for the batteries? The minimum efficiency for the batteries can be used. I'm sorry, I do not understand your question. Can you please elaborate what you mean by the minimum efficiency? Do you have inverters which can be used for off-grid water pumps? We do not have inverters that are used specifically for off-grid water pumps, but we do have inverters that can be used in off-grid scenarios. And as I mentioned earlier, it's the 2 to 6 kilowatts single phase. So yeah, we have some that you can use in off-grid. Can you explain about short circuiting plates that we use in the backup box and why do we need it? I'm sorry, this specific question, I'd have to look at it and get back to you on it. I do not know it off the top of my head. So if you can just shoot me in my mail and I will send you the answers. Yes. Can my optimizers be used for other systems? Currently, no, it's only compatible with the Huawei inverters. Okay. So I think I have gone through all the questions. I don't think I've missed any. No, I don't think I have. So yes. Okay, and we will be sending the presentation slides to everyone after this. My name is Edith. I'm based in Ghana. I put my email address in the chat box for anyone who wants it or anyone who has any further questions. Please feel free to reach out and we will do our best to help you. It was lovely having you all today. I look forward to seeing you all again sometime. Thank you so much. Have a great day.